Hi, my name is Adriel William, and today's video is for all the individuals who are getting interview invites from school, colleges, workplaces, which are inviting them to come in person and give interview. So back a couple of years ago, due to COVID, pretty much all the interviews that were being done were on Zoom. And I can tell you from my experience in 2019, when I was giving interview for dentist schools, all of these programs were inviting us on Zoom, and that's how I gave my four of the interviews, actually five of the interviews. But now what's happening, because things are changing, dentist schools and universities and workplace have decided that they should invite the candidate in person and talk to them. And that's why a couple of doctors and other individuals contacted me and said, what would be your advice for interview preparation if we are going in person? What would be different? So, first of all, I would tell you this thing, that if they are calling you or inviting you for an interview, whether Zoom or whether in person, that means they like your paperwork, they read your resume, they read your personal statement, and they decided this person seemed to be a valuable person and we should give this person a chance. That's why they are inviting you. So, you should keep in mind before you start anything that they are looking for something which you have in your paperwork, or they want to put a face to that paper. That's why they are inviting you. The second thing I'll tell you, when you go in person for a one-on-one interview, when you're going to a school, to a university, and you're going to be physically present there, one of the key things that's going to make a difference as compared to Zoom is your physical presence. And I tell people, as soon as somebody walks into a room or walks towards you, you already look at them and you create a perception about them. The way they walk, the way they stand, the way they carry themselves. And that's something that everybody notices, conscious or subconsciously. They create a perception about you. So when you're going to be going to an in-person interview as compared to Zoom, one of the most important thing is the way you stand, the way you carry yourself. And I can tell you one thing, there could be somebody who's very confident, who's very healthy and seems to appear confident, but if you keep that person in stress for 3, 4, 5 days, eventually cortisol is going to build up in their body and they won't feel as confident as they do. So the point I'm trying to say is that when you're giving an interview on Zoom, you just get out from your bed or from your couch, you get ready, you turn on the camera and you give an interview to the camera, right? But now when you're flying to a different place, it could be a different time zone, it could be a different state, a whole foreign land, like a different foreign land. You're going to be staying at a different hotel or at a relative house. You're going to be getting Uber. You can always, you might miss your food. You might forget your charger back home, or something could happen. All of these things which are unknown to your brain will create a certain level of stress, certain level of anxiety. So how do you overcome it? One of the things I tell candidate, if you're going for an in-person interview, try to go there a day or two ahead and make sure you keep the uncertainty, the unknowns to the minimum. So if you have a friend, a contact, somebody you know in the city, text them up, call them, talk to them. So at least when you're there, you go a day before, you walk around, you visit the campus, you visit the town. So you kind of get familiar so your brain doesn't act that this is a new place. Because as humans, whenever we go into an unknown land, whenever we go to a new place that our brain doesn't recognize, it goes into a fight or flight mode, or kind of like an alert mode. And you don't want to be in that hyper alert mode. You want to be alert, but you don't want to be in hyper alert mode, because then you will be much more stressed out. So number one thing would be reaching there early, getting familiar to the place, meeting some people, walking around, so you kind of like already know the place. The second thing is, if you're going to be flying or traveling on the last day, your flight can get delayed, weather issues happen, you forget something at home. This can build up stress. So you want to avoid that factor. The third thing I'll tell you, which is kind of unfair, I believe, but most interviews there's a preference or a bias towards people who are good looking and who are extrovert. And these kind of personality types tend to get more favor in interviews. People who are a little bit more attractive in their looks and are able to speak about themselves or about their thought, they seem to be more appealing to other people. And this is scientifically proven that in interviews, people have a bias towards such personality type. Now, I personally had a lot of friends who were introvert. I have candidates in the past who were introverts who got accepted. And when I worked with them, I told them one thing. You might be an introvert. You don't like to be in a group of new people. You don't like to talk in front of a group of new people. But the harsh reality is that an interview is an act of 30 minutes. It's actually, I would tell them, consider this to be a theater, an act. And you have to perform for that 30 minutes as an extrovert. You have to bring out that energy. You have to show them passion. And you have to show them that you're a team player. Because in reality, they can't really know who you are in 20 to 30 minutes. So what would you do? You would present the ideal student that they are looking for. You present that person who has high energy, and I'm not saying to be an over-efficient person, and just saying be a person that have good energy, who's an extrovert and has an ability to speak what they believe in or what they think. The second thing that you might talk about is, okay, you just said people who are good looking. What if I think I'm not good looking? That doesn't matter. What would matter is that if you made an effort to present yourself in the best manner, regardless of whatever your thoughts are about your look. But if you put an effort in yourself, getting a good haircut, you try to dress up your best, you try to wake up early, do exercise, take some shower, and you went for the interview and try to present yourself in the best manner, that will give you a certain level of confidence. And that confidence is what makes you attractive. It's not your nose, it's not your eyes, it's not your shoulder. What makes you attractive by the end of the day is your ability to put effort in yourself and present yourself in the best manner. So if you're able to put that effort and the time to make yourself more presentable, you're going to carry some level of confidence, and that will help you. One other thing people say is that as a foreign trained dentist, that my English is a limitation in my interview. And I tell them that in the interviews, they are recruiting you as a foreign trained dentist. So they already know that English is your second language. You're an immigrant, you're coming from a different country, so they don't expect you to speak English in the same manner as an American. So don't consider that to be something which should hold you back. And your English is not the limitation. What would be your limitation is being underconfident or being shy about yourself. So even if you speak slower or you take a little bit more time to think of words, that's fine. But if you're confident and you're controlling the situation, that's what's important. One other thing that when I'm talking to candidates who are going for in-person interview, they will ask, should I go in and shake their hand? Should I walk in and say hi, or what should I do? Should I be making eye contact? So this is my answer to most of the people. When you go in an interview, you enter the room, you're the guest and they are the host. The interviewer, the faculty are the host. They are sitting in the room and they will set the tone of the room. So for example, imagine you walk into a room for interview and there's a long table and you've been asked to sit down up there about 10 feet away. So obviously, if you're 10 feet away, they want you to stay at a distance. They will say hi. Just try to respond to them in the same manner as they are talking to you. If they want to shake a hand with you, they will get up and move their hand forward. That shows a sign that they want you, or that's a gesture that they want you to come forward and shake their hand. So when you're going in as an interviewee, when you're going up there as a candidate, what you want to do is see what's the tone of the room. If they are very excited, they want to hug you, they want to say hi, just mirror that energy. one of the things I tell people about interviews is that you want to mirror the energy of the other person. Now, what does that mean? If you're I'm going to share this strategy. If you're going in a new job where you have a boss, where you have a supervisor, or you're going in for an interview and your boss is a very quiet person, likes to speak few words, and is a very calm personality, try to mirror that person and just talk to him gently in few words and just mirror the same energy they have. On the other hand, for example, I was in an interview where I was talking to a person who was a pediatric dentist, and she was very excited, very energetic, and had a lot of questions to ask. So with that person, I had to be very energetic and answer her in the same energy level as she was. So that's called mirroring the energy of the other person. And if on the other hand, you're being interviewed by a dentist or an neurosurgeon who's very busy, doesn't have time, just rushing through the interview, then you don't waste their time. You mirror them and you say, if you will give them the answer they are looking for and just communicate in the manner that they want to. And one other thing I'll tell you is that carrying a bottle of water to your interview, it wouldn't be a bad idea because you might get dehydrated, you might feel stressed out, your throat is getting dry. So keeping a bottle of water would be a good idea. But I wouldn't suggest carrying too many things like a bag, a coat, and a bottle, and you're juggling things all around and they are falling down. Do not have too many things in your hand that would look messy. Just carry a bottle of water for yourself if you feel like you get thirsty. And one other thing I'll mention is when you're leaving the room or when your interview is finished, try leaving the room at a positive note. I'm just gonna give you an example. If I'm in an interview and they ask me, do you have any other questions for us? And I've asked what I wanted to ask. I'm about to leave. I'll most probably tell them, doctor, it was nice meeting you and I appreciate your time and I look forward to working with you or learning from you in future. You make a good eye contact, you shake their hand and you walk out. And once you walk out, do not overthink about your interview. And I usually suggest people prepare hard for your interviews, take help, practice more, go in and try to enjoy your interview. And once you're done, just let it be and let the fate decide, let the heavens decide whatever is supposed to come out of that. And that would be my best suggestion for you as well. And I wish you all the best for your interview. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to me through WhatsApp or through email. And hopefully I'll see you in a more meaningful video. All the best.